Hi, everyone, and welcome to Real Fertility Talk. I'm your host, Tauni Maya, and today's episode is a special one. I'm joined today by my husband, my partner through every step of this fertility journey. We'll be talking together about what it's really like to face infertility and reoccurrent miscarriages as a couple, and how it looks and feels from the male perspective, too. This isn't just my story, it's ours, and I hope hearing from both sides remind you that you're never alone in this. So let's dive in. Babe, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah. My name is Sergio, and I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your podcast. And hi, everybody.
Alrighty. So let's start from the beginning, babe. What do you remember, about when we first started growing our family, first miscarriage, whatever? What do you want to start with?
We've been together for 16, going on 17 years now. And really, our first miscarriage no one really knows about is a teen miscarriage.
Yeah.
That was very scary in so many different levels, as you would say. Starting with, what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
I feel like I just let down my parents. I feel
life was over before it even started.
Exactly. Also, what am I going to do? I feel like I just became a man overnight, hearing there's a positive test, but then we had a miscarriage.
I was a little relieved. I was, of course, sad, but I was relieved, my dreams can still happen.
Right. As a teenager, there was relief. I know it might sound bad, but I guess, but there was definitely a lot of sorrow because there's still the what ifs. What would this baby look like? How would this baby turn out? There's always still going to be that what ifs. So I know we were saddened upon the what ifs, but I felt like that shaped us to the people that we are today.
All right. That was our first miscarriage. Later on, we got married, grew up, started our life. And I remember really being serious about starting a family. Of course, we got so much pressure from family and friends. We were just one of those people that didn't have kids yet while everybody around us had a whole bunch of babies. We went through a couple miscarriages, but we didn't really share with people. And then we got really serious and more intentional about wanting to grow our family. So a lot of cycle tracking, a lot of anxiety. I remember feeling really hopeful, but really anxious, really stressed out. And of course, pressured. If I wore a dress that was too big, people were like, oh my gosh, are you guys pregnant? So there was a lot of pressure going on. Did you feel the pressure? Or did you feel like we were just going with the flow?
Definitely felt pressures a lot, especially with you guys going to get pregnant. How are you guys getting pregnant? Do you have plans to be pregnant? And of course, most people want to be pregnant. And seeing everybody, like our friends, having kids is definitely hard to watch as you are trying so hard to have a baby also.
Yeah.
And then them asking, oh, you need to have a baby because I want your baby to grow up with our kids.
Yeah.
And of course we want that too because we're friends and we want our babies to grow up together and have friends, be friends together. And but I felt like that was an added pressure.
From just our friends. Hey, you gotta hurry up before so our kids can grow up together.
Culturally, I felt like from our families that like, hey, like you need to get this done.
Yeah, for sure. And it started become like, hey, what's wrong with you guys? And that was really hard too.
Yeah. So as things got more difficult, we had to just get more intentional with things and make sure that we're tracking, eating properly, exercising to make it our best shot at having a baby. Because we at this point now, we're like, all right, things are happening as like it became more exhausting. And I knew that I needed to help make you feel better in the meantime. And I just felt like there's not much I could do. Just help you cope with things as much as I could.
Yeah. So as things got harder, doctor visits and lab tests and the miscarriages, what was it like for you on the sidelines? Did you feel like you had space to process your own feelings? Just because I know there were moments I was falling apart and I didn't always check in on you. Was it hard or did you want it to be left alone?
I think having multiple miscarriages made me desensitized to having miscarriages. I know it makes me sound heartless, but I think by being desensitized to the situation helped me cope and get through the situation to be strong for you, who was my other half. And because I knew your heart has just been ripped out from having miscarriages after miscarriages, and I couldn't even begin to even fathom how all that made you feel. I do know that once everything starts going, your body changes, your mind, your chemicals in your body, and you feel all that. And I know I can never feel that, but being able to separate myself from the miscarriage and just trying to just strictly be there for you to help you cope through things, help me get through the things, through the miscarriages.
Yeah. Let's talk about how all of this affected us as a couple. Did you feel like we were drift apart at any point? Did we like drift apart and then help us find our way back to each other? What was it like on your side?
I felt like maybe we did drift apart, and I think it's just because the person who I am is a fixer person. I don't know if a lot of men out there are the fixer type.
I think all men are fixer types.
So me being able to not fix this, I really struggled with that. So I think not being able to fix it, I distanced myself from the situation because I didn't know how to handle things, which was probably in the long run not the greatest thing. But I did try to show as much affection as I could.
Yeah, it was a hard time for both of us. Physically, mentally, I was going through it. And I know it was hard for you on the side. There were times where I felt like you were drifting away or you needed your own space. And I was just really focused on myself because I was going through it physically. And there were a lot of times I feel like I failed you. I was failing myself. And like you, I'm also a fixer. So I was trying to figure out what was going on. And for me to be an egg donor 6 times, it was really confusing because I was like, was I only good when I was younger? Like my body was okay. And then now I'm older and that's why I'm going through all these miscarriages and all these stuff. And it was just really hard. And I think over time, we did started to lean into each other more slowly. Maybe we grew up more, we were more mature, or we realized we're not alone in this, like we're in it with each other. I don't know. What do you feel like?
I did drift apart because I didn't know how to help. So I did shut down. I think more so in our younger years because I was young and dumb, but that I'm a little more wiser. And what helped me more is to be more transparent with my feelings to my partner. Helps a lot and brings us together.
Yeah, like communication.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I feel like we communicated more, so we realized like we don't have to fix everything right now, or we don't have to be strong, like the only strong one all the time. And I feel like we kind of,
Facing it together,
yeah,
we can help each other a lot better.
yeah,
As a united front, definitely
yeah,
helps a lot instead of just basking, just taking it
yeah,
yourself.
sulking in our
Yes.
depression and stuff. Like this is a really hard thing to go through. And I know there's so many people that has been through this. And I just think communication and leaning into each other is really important. It's so easy for us to point fingers at each other. Oh, it's probably your fault because at some point that did happen where families were like, oh, maybe something's wrong with Tauni. And it's so easy to blame the woman's side when these things happen. But I think we really came together, stood together, and had each other's backs. And really took our time with each other. I feel like we grew a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think I guess in that man's perspective, it is okay to put down your barrier, your walls with your significant other. It's okay to show, as some would say, poo weakness. Like, we're all human. We all have feelings. Some may not show it, but we do. And by us showing our feelings to our partner, you guys can grow together, because when you guys do face the world, you guys can put up your wall together, intertwine your wall to make it double strength.
Yeah.
I think that helped us a lot. Once we got older, we understood that, hey, we should talk about everything.
Yeah.
And so we can put our walls together and be on a team and work through things and get through life together.
Yeah. So thankfully, after 5 miscarriages, we had our miracle super rainbow baby. And what does fatherhood mean to you now after everything we've been through?
Fatherhood is such a powerful word. My journey as a father had its ups and downs, honestly, but more downs at times, unfortunately. But through its all, I'm proud to say I helped bring in a new life into this world. I want to be present for my son. No, not just sometimes, but always. I want to give him the world to guide him and to teach him how to be a loving and caring man. Someone one day becomes a great husband and father.
If he wants to, no pressure.
Right. I hope that even as he grows older, he still wants to call his old man, still wants to hang out and spend time with me. I know every day won't be easy, but if playing the bad guy now helps raise a better man later, I'll gladly do it. Ultimately, fatherhood means loving someone more than I love myself and being proud of who they've become, knowing I had a hand in shaping that. That's what fatherhood means to me.
Yeah, I love hearing that. For me, it changed the way I see motherhood too, more sacred, more hard earned. It's so crazy. Like I could never have imagined how difficult it was, like our journey to become a parent. And even now, after he was born, we got pregnant again. And I was so confident. I was like, I had one good one under my belt. This is going to be a piece of cake. And then to have another miscarriage and stuff, it really made me appreciate our journey, the good, the bad, everything. It's hard. If you could say something to other partners out there, especially men, what would you want them to hear?
There's one thing I would say is that you're never alone. Always, your partner's always there for you. You may feel like you're alone, but just opening up to your partner could help in so many different ways, because you may be thinking the same thing as your partner is. So it's always good to speak to your partner, and there's always a community out there to speak to or type to, like Facebook or something on the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of support out there.
So you shouldn't be afraid to reach out to people. It happens more than we talk about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've been doing this for 14, 15 years, and even I was afraid to talk about miscarriages and our difficulty getting pregnant. Our family and friends didn't know about it until the last, like, maybe 4 years or so, or how hard it was for us. I understand coming from this community, coming from this field, that it's so hard to talk about, like, even for me. I can't imagine for someone that's just going through their first or second, and especially men, probably harder for them to talk about too. To every couple walking this path, you are not alone. Your grief is valid, your love matters, and both of your voices deserve to be heard. Thank you for being here with us today, and thank you, babe, for opening your heart and sharing your truth with all of our listeners. If this episode spoke to you, please share it, leave a review, or visit us at realfertilitytalk.com. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Hi. Also, Mom, Dad, sorry if you heard that.
Oh. Yeah. Look, just know we were like 18 or 19. Yeah. We were teens, but not. Yeah. Anyways, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.